Hi guys, today we are going to start our toy drawing final draft. Before we begin, we need to talk about what the requirements are. First thing you're going to do is sketch out a thumbnail sketch of your composition. What is composition? Composition is the placement of visual elements in a piece of artwork. You might consider this exactly the same as the layout of a piece. For example, you might paint a picture of a dog and then position the dog slightly off-centered on the canvas. That is a composition choice. So for your composition and your subject matter, I want you to imagine you're looking down at a messy desk. This messy desk has toys and art supplies, knickknacks, and other objects just scattered all over the place, randomly placed. That is what we're going to be drawing. And you're going to come up with your own composition, your own arrangement of these toys and objects. So let's talk about what makes a good composition. So here we have three different examples of compositions. The first one on the top left, we see all these items, and they're placed up and down and very orderly. Okay, this does not make a very good composition because it is too orderly. Things are going up and down, and it's just not visually interesting as things that are like randomly placed, as the example on the right. Another example on the left, we have too much empty space. So you have to look at the negative space. If you have too much empty space and too many items on one side or the other side, and the weight is not balanced, that's also not a good composition. It's good to have things overlap, like one object on top of another object or in front. It's good to have things randomly placed. Things going off the page can also be visually interesting. You want to look at line. Your eye goes from one object to another object. It's not good if the objects draw your eye off the page. Okay, you want the objects in your composition to keep the viewer's eye on the page, if that makes sense. Okay, your drawing must have at least a crayon box. It can also be a marker or colored pencil box. You can draw part of it. You don't have to draw the whole box. You can have the box open with crayons and markers spilling out. That's fine. You can change it up a bit as long as there's some kind of crayon or marker box or color pencil box. That is fine. You will need at least one crayon, one marker, 3 marbles, a pencil, a piece of notebook paper, and only do part. If you want to do the whole piece, that's fine. It takes up a lot of white colored pencil to color that in. You can when you do your notebook paper, you can have part of it on the paper, and you can have designs or a sketch drawn on it or notes. That kind of gives it a visual interest. You'll also need a dice or a die and jack. You can change up the colors. You can do any color marker, any color marble, pencil. You know, you have a lot of freedom as far as those choices go with this artwork. And you need at least 3 extra toys or objects. It must be something different from the list above right here. Okay, so think about what you might have in your backpack, like keychains, or you know, you can even draw your cell phone. What are your favorite toys? What are your favorite? Do you have a favorite pen or pencil or pencil pouch? Yeah. So most of these items are going to be smaller in size. I will have some examples for you to look at. So here I thought Mr. Potato Head might be kind of cool. I also have a picture of some vintage toys in this upper right hand corner. Here's an example of writing on a piece of notebook paper, so that might be kind of cool to do. You could draw a note or a name or something. Legos, and look at how these Legos are randomly scattered. So that makes it visually interesting. Oh, and I also wanted to say about this, if there's a specific toy you want to draw, you can look online for that toy and draw it. Make sure to ask your parents' help if you are going to be searching on Google. If there's too much empty space, you will need to fill it in with another toy, even if you've met all the requirements. So this thumbnail sketch has a lot of empty space right here. That's not visually interesting. That's too much negative empty space. So we'll need to fill it in with some more objects. After you sketch in your drawing, you need to color it in realistically. Okay, just like we practiced, everything needs to be colored in. We are using colored pencil. We're trying to make this look as realistic as possible, so we're going to be adding shadows and highlights just like we practiced. Okay guys, so before you begin, start brainstorming what objects you want to have in your composition. Do a quick thumbnail sketch. You do not need to spend a lot of time on your thumbnail sketch. Like I spent maybe a minute on mine. Think about where you want to place them and just have a good layout planned. Now, as you work on your composition, as you work on your toy drawing final draft, you may change up some things, and that is fine. I did that while I was working on my example. Because sometimes you come up with a really good idea, or you realize, hey, this composition is not working. So that's what erasers are for. As you're working, make sure that you've met all the requirements, and I hope you guys have fun with this project. And if you have any questions, please let me know. All right, bye.